Something some of you don't know about me is that as a kid, I was a total Pokemon nerd. I mean, I was 10 years old when the first generation of Pokemon was released, and I was all over it. The games, collecting the cards, and of course, the anime. Though I did lose interest in the games over time, I still consider Pokemon to be one of my favourite franchises. Whether it be for the nostalgia or experimental new releases trying something new, it's not hard to see why Pokemon is one of the most successful and beloved franchises in existence.
Unless you're a Digimon fan, of course.
And with a new generation just around the corner, my love for the franchise has been rekindled, and I thought it would be fun to talk about one of the main reasons I love the franchise, and that is the Pokemon Haunter. Oh, it's Ghost Cat. Like Haunter itself, the Pokemon anime is silly and really bombastic. Although, let's face it, most of us watched it for the antics of Team Rocket. Also, James's best character.
Maybe I'll even get my own television series. Wouldn't that be exciting? Yeah!
As silly and weird as the anime got, it didn't get any weirder or scarier than a trio of episodes called Abra and the Psychic Showdown, Tower of Terror, and Haunter vs. Kadabra.
Although James and his inflatable boobs from that band episode comes pretty close to being terrifying.
The 3 episodes where all 3 of the original Ghost Pokemon are first introduced. Ghastly, Gengar, and of course, Ghost Cat himself, Haunter. Oh, but he's so cute. Ghost Pokemon stand out to me as the weirder elements of the series, since most of the other Pokemon in Gen 1 are based on animals, or at least familiar objects, or family-friendly creatures from various lore. Though there are a lot of Ghost-type Pokemon now, these 3 were the original and only Ghost types in Generation 1, and as far as I know, are the only 3 Pokemon to have Ghost and Poison as their types so far. Ghastly is probably the scariest of the 3 to me because it's just a floating disembodied head. The best example of it being scary, well, for the anime anyway, is the episode The Ghost of Maiden's Peak, which features an actual ghost in the episode and a talking Ghastly. Of the 3, Gengar is the most malicious, playing practical jokes and casting curses and hiding in shadows, and maybe he's hiding in Clefable's shadow. But to me, Haunter has the most interesting design. When I first saw this guy as a kid, I loved him immediately, mostly because I thought he was the ghost of a cat, so I refer to him lovingly as Ghost Cat. So of course I wanted to watch the anime so I would eventually see this guy in an episode. Ever since I started playing the games, I always made it a tradition that in every playthrough, I always had a Haunter on my team. Haunter may be outclassed by his evolution Gengar, but Haunter can still be a big help when you're in a pinch. But there's more to Pokemon than just their competitive stats. With Haunter's Cheshire Cat grin and protruding spikes and long tail and disembodied hands, he is one of the most interesting and charismatic Pokemon designs, at least to me. Based on a poltergeist, that is literally what this Pokemon is. Though ghost Pokemon aren't technically literal ghosts of Pokemon or people, it has been implied that they could have been people once in some Pokédex entries, and in the anime, Haunter has the ability to pull Ash and Pikachu's souls from their bodies, telling Ash that we're the same now, but I guess we'll talk about that later. As cute and simple as Pokemon is on the surface, the Pokemon franchise is a treasure trove of horror stories and disturbing tales designed to frighten and entertain. So when you really think about it, Pokemon is set in a world of pure horror. Though the series and Pokédex entries have painted Haunter in a bad light and as a malevolent spirit hell-bent on murdering people, the manga, The Electric Tale of Pikachu, did far worse, depicting a Haunter called Black Fog, an ancient giant Haunter that killed humans and Pokemon by eating their souls and even used self-destruct to avoid being captured by a human. Yep, in the manga, a Pokemon actually committed to avoid the actual word, let's just say it committed self-deletion. Although it was a ghost Pokemon, so I'm not kind of really sure how that works. But anyway, I didn't really think of this all that much as a kid, but rewatching Tower of Terror episode as an adult, I realised how messed up this actually was. Okay, so nowhere near as bad as the manga was, but I suppose the closest we came to this sort of tone would be The Ghost of Maiden's Peak. But in spite this, Tower of Terror is one of the anime's most talked about episodes. Why? because Ash and Pikachu literally die and become ghosts and haunt their friends alongside the ghost Pokemon, who actually didn't want to hurt or scare anyone, they just wanted someone to play with. They were more like the Three Stooges, really. Ghost Pokemon are probably the loneliest Pokemon, being misunderstood and often unwanted. But ghost Pokemon are my favourite type in the game for this very reason. Ghost types are depicted to be the most loyal. In the episode A Ship Full of Shivers, a Ghastly and a Haunter watch over their master's Orange League trophy for 300 years. Now that's loyalty. In the Pokemon Journeys series, a Gengar waits at an old abandoned building for their trainer after being told to stay there. Though it eventually learns its trainer doesn't want it around anymore, it eventually decides to be Ash's Pokemon instead. While Haunter isn't in that many episodes, it is one of the key characters in the first season's scariest episodes, and rouses one of the most creepiest characters in the anime, Sabrina, from a self-induced stone-faced waking slumber. How? By making her laugh. This Haunter didn't want to battle to prove a point. If anything, it just wanted to play around. It had no point to make, it just wanted to play tricks and jokes. Haunter's mischievous nature may have made him a little unreliable for Ash, who technically did not catch Haunter. It did seem to see the bigger picture. It saw a girl who needed help, and what better way to help someone than to make them laugh. Sometimes laughter really is the best medicine. We tend to like scary things because it allows us to experience stimulation. Terror, the anticipation of being scared, stimulates us mentally and physically. The ghost Pokemon Haunter balances on the tightrope between being terrifying and exciting at the same time. It's kind of intoxicating. I suppose as a kid it was the first time I experienced that juxtaposition within a kids show. More to the point, Haunter represents the moment to me when I learned that fear can be faced head on, and sometimes it's fun to be scared. Fear teaches us more about ourselves than we really realise. Horror highlights our unconscious fears, desires and urges that are buried deep in our subconscious. When we feel threatened, we feel stronger and powerful and more intuitive. So when a ghost doesn't play on fears but instead makes us laugh, it extinguishes the fear of the unknown, and the fear becomes a frisson, or a thrilling shiver, someplace between thrill and fear. I suppose this is what Haunter represents to me. Frisson. Something within the unknown plane between thrill and fear. And I love that. Haunter may not be the best Pokemon in a battle if you're obsessed with the statistics like most people are when it comes to the games, but all that statistical nonsense aside, Haunter is the best Pokemon to me, and will always be my favourite. I'm Mad Munchkin. Stay creative.